Welcome to our deep dive into a growing trend in the travel industry, the rising number of tourists being turned away from destinations worldwide. In the wake of the pandemic, travel demand has surged, but so too have the challenges facing travelers, from stricter visa regulations and capacity constraints to heightened health protocols and economic pressures. Join us as we explore the multifaceted reasons behind this phenomenon and what it means for the future of travel in an ever-evolving landscape. 1. Increased travel demand post-pandemic. The global travel industry has witnessed an unprecedented surge in demand since the lifting of pandemic-era restrictions. According to the World Tourism Organization, UNWTO, international tourist arrivals soared to 1.4 billion in 2023, marking a dramatic 63% rise from 2022 figures. This explosive growth has put immense pressure on popular tourist hotspots, which are now struggling to accommodate the sheer volume of visitors. Cities such as Venice and Barcelona have responded by enforcing strict visitor caps and timed entry systems, forcing many hopeful tourists to turn back at the gates. In April 2024, Venice officially began charging a €5 entry fee for day trippers and introduced daily visitor limits, resulting in thousands being denied entry on peak weekends. Similarly, Barcelona's Sagrada Familia now requires pre-booked tickets, with same-day entry nearly impossible. These measures, though controversial, are a direct response to overcrowding and the logistical nightmares that mass tourism can bring. 2. Stricter visa regulation. Many countries have responded to the new wave of travelers by tightening visa and entry requirements. The United States, for example, has seen a significant increase in visa processing times. As of early 2024, some applicants reported waiting more than 6 months for approval. The European Union has also rolled out the European Travel Information and Authorization System, ETIAS, requiring travelers from previously visa-exempt countries to obtain pre-travel authorization before entering the Schengen area. This has resulted in thousands of travelers facing denials or lengthy delays. In Australia, 2024 statistics from the Department of Home Affairs show a 22% increase in rejected visitor visa applications compared to pre-pandemic years. These regulatory hurdles, intended to balance security with tourism, have left many would-be visitors stranded or forced to cancel their plans altogether. 3. Capacity constraints in popular destinations. Overcrowding has pushed popular destinations to their limits, prompting authorities to enforce strict capacity controls. National parks in the United States, such as Yellowstone and Yosemite, experienced record-breaking attendance in 2023. Yellowstone alone reported a staggering 20% increase in visitors compared to the previous year, leading officials to close entrances during peak times and implement reservation-only systems for popular sites like Old Faithful. Machu Picchu in Peru has also slashed its daily ticket allotment to protect the fragile site, resulting in long waiting lists and disappointed travelers. The Great Wall of China saw similar restrictions during Golden Week holidays in 2024, with tickets selling out weeks in advance and strict quotas enforced by local authorities. These measures, though necessary, have become a source of frustration for tourists who find themselves turned away at the last minute. 4. Environmental concerns and sustainable tourism. Heightened awareness of environmental issues has prompted many destinations to adopt sustainable tourism practices, often at the expense of visitor numbers. The Galapagos Islands have long maintained a strict cap on arrivals, but in 2024, the number of applications to visit rose by 30% over the previous year, overwhelming the quota system. Only about 45% of applicants were granted access. In Thailand, Maya Bay, the iconic beach from The Beach movie, remained closed for much of 2023 and 2024 to allow for ecosystem recovery, with limited reopening in June 2024 and just 375 visitors allowed per hour. These measures are supported by conservationists and local governments, but they leave a significant portion of would-be tourists unable to experience these fragile environments. 5. Economic factors and rising costs. The sharp rise in travel costs has contributed to a new layer of exclusivity in global tourism. According to the International Air Transport Association, IATA, average airfares increased by 15% between 2022 and 2024, driven by higher fuel prices and inflationary pressures. Hotel rates in major European cities like Paris and London have experienced double-digit price hikes, pricing out many travelers. While some tourists are forced to abandon their plans, others who can afford the rising costs are met with sold-out accommodations and attractions due to surging demand. For example, in 2024, Tokyo hotels reported 95% occupancy rates during cherry blossom season, leaving late booking travelers with no available options. The paradox of high prices and high demand is resulting in more travelers being turned away, despite their willingness to pay. 6. Health and safety protocols. Despite the official end of the COVID-19 pandemic, many countries have retained stringent health and safety protocols for inbound tourists. Australia continues to require proof of vaccination for entry as of early 2024, while Japan mandates negative PCR tests for certain nationalities. These requirements have proved a barrier for travelers from regions with lower vaccination rates or limited access to testing facilities. In 2024, New Zealand reported a 17% decrease in arrivals from Southeast Asia, attributed largely to health-related entry requirements. The continued presence of such protocols means that a significant segment of potential tourists are either refused entry or choose other destinations with looser restrictions. 7. Political instability and travel warnings. Political events and regional instability have played a substantial role in limiting tourist access in 2024. The U.S. State Department and several European governments have issued expanded travel advisories for parts of the Middle East and Africa due to ongoing conflict and civil unrest. Sudan, for example, saw a 60% drop in international arrivals in the first quarter of 2024, while Haiti's tourism sector has all but collapsed amid persistent violence and kidnappings. Even relatively stable countries like Israel have experienced sharp declines in tourist numbers following renewed conflict in late 2023 and early 2024. Heightened security at borders and the suspension of flights have forced tourists to reroute or abandon their trips entirely. 8. Technological barriers and digital nomadism. The rise of digital nomadism has created both opportunities and challenges in the global tourism landscape. In 2024, Bali reported a 25% increase in digital nomad visa holders, leading to an unexpected housing crunch that left traditional tourists struggling to find accommodations. Portugal's new digital nomad visa program attracted over 10,000 applicants in its first year, straining local infrastructure in Lisbon and Porto. As more countries introduce special visas for remote workers, competition for resources intensifies, and short-term visitors are increasingly squeezed out. Booking platforms like Airbnb have seen average stays increase, further reducing inventory for casual travelers and prompting some cities to impose stricter rental regulations. 9. Cultural and social backlash. The social fabric of many destinations is under strain from the relentless tide of tourism, fueling a wave of local backlash. In Barcelona, for example, a 2023 citywide survey revealed that 70% of residents felt tourism was negatively affecting their quality of life, prompting the local government to introduce new zoning laws and restrict short-term rentals. Amsterdam banned guided tours of the red light district in 2024 and imposed limits on the number of tourists allowed in certain neighborhoods at any one time. Similar sentiments have sparked protest movements in Venice, Dubrovnik, and Santorini, with residents demanding stricter controls on visitor numbers to protect their communities and traditions. These actions are increasingly resulting in tourists being denied access to popular areas. 10. The future of travel. Adapting to new realities. Destinations worldwide are investing in technology and smarter management to cope with the evolving realities of tourism in 2025. In Singapore, real-time visitor tracking apps were launched in early 2024 to manage crowd density at major attractions, allowing authorities to restrict entry when limits are reached. Paris is piloting a digital pass system that uses AI to optimize tourist flows and prevent overcrowding at landmarks like the Eiffel Tower and Louvre. These innovations are designed to balance tourist demand with the need to protect infrastructure and community well-being. However, they also mean that spontaneous or unprepared travelers are increasingly likely to be turned away, as access becomes more tightly regulated and technology-driven.